Okay, so I'm getting a ton of questions around hydrogen and hydrogen machines and what to do, what not to do, and how does it work. And also, one of the most frequent questions is, how do you feel on the hydrogen? Joshua, tell us how you're feeling and what's going on with that, etc. So I am beyond stoked about hydrogen. I love it. It's maybe the most um, amazing thing that I've started doing of all my biohacks out there. It's definitely up there along the most powerful stuff I've ever done. So hydrogen is something that I'm going to be doing the rest of my life for sure. And so I am inhaling hydrogen and I'm drinking hydrogen water. And so I have written down a list. First of all, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do a live event for free for everybody. Everybody is invited on Saturday and on Sunday. So you can join that and sign up there. But anyway, let me go through what was it? I wrote down a list of things that I've experienced myself. So it's not just me. There's also other people here who are using hydrogen. So I may mention these people as well. Dramatically reduced joint and muscle pains. So it was really dramatic in the beginning when I just started the hydrogen, and now it's kind of like I'm getting used to it, and also you get used to the new normal in the sense of I'm feeling much better overall, and that becomes normal and you forget how you felt before. So it's really interesting to observe what's going on. But when I just started the hydrogen, the most dramatic thing that I saw was reduced joint and muscle pains. And so I'm teaching martial arts, and sometimes I go crazy and I do lots of squats and crazy things with my body. And I'm 48 now, and so when I do these things, I think I'm 19, and I realize I'm not, and then I'm actually sore for like, sometimes it's so bad that I can hardly walk out of bed, and even going to the toilet hurts the legs. And so I could be sore for like 3 days, sometimes 4 or 5 days. So it tells me there's a lot of lactic acid built up, and the mitochondria is not working the way it's supposed to in the muscles. So this is something that has become a big problem for me, actually. So every time I started doing new exercises, etc., then I just paid a high price for it. And it was really annoying, and I ended up doing less because of it. And yeah, so basically, one thing that the most dramatic thing that I experienced with the hydrogen inhalation and hydrogen water is that all that is gone. I simply don't get sore anymore. I can train hard, and the next day, yeah, I can feel I used the muscle, but I'm walking around. I could do the same training again. And this is blowing my mind because I was in my 20s when that was a reality. Now I'm 48, and this is now normal again. So I can train hard, no problem. And also, there's a woman here using also hydrogen devices, inhalation and water, and she had bone pain, joint pain like crazy, like to such a degree that she had hard time sleeping, and many movements were hurting. And I think she was on the pathway for arthritis or something like that. All that has been reduced by 80%, maybe 90% in her. And I would say my own joint and bone pain and muscle pain has been reduced also at least 90%. So that was the most dramatic I experienced right away. And the other thing I experienced was that so I have a meniscus tear in the knee, and when you teach martial arts, this is showing itself in so many times. And so basically, when I bent my knee, when I bent my leg very, very like beyond 90 degrees, it locks into there's something that snaps out or something, and then it's extremely painful, and then I have to do some specific maneuvers to actually get this snapping back in, and then so I can move again. And what happened is that thing just totally went away, and I was shocked, and I was thinking I don't need operation or anything. Everybody told me I need an operation. And I started squatting, I started doing kicks and all that stuff, and no problem. However, actually just 4 hours ago, I was sitting in a chair, and I just did some weird movement, and then I could feel it was like it wanted to snap out again. And so it's not entirely healed. It's just much better. So I don't notice it as much as I did before, but I can see it's still there. Yeah. So, and cardio training. So I was actually in shock when I first started, especially when I started drinking the hydrogen water. I think, I don't know how that works, but when I do cardio training, so what I do is I do high intensity training in the morning on a treadmill where I sprint full power, 8 rounds. So I run as fast as I can, and then I take a break and catch my breath, and then I run again. And it's like, so I do this 8 times. And when I just started the hydrogen, I actually didn't know what to do, because I ran and it wasn't even hard, and I wasn't even breathing hard, and I was running as fast as I normally can, and I just didn't feel it was hard at all. I was just like, what? And so actually I got worried. I was worried that I'm going to create an injury, or I'm going to get heart issues by pushing myself so hard. So I stayed at that level. I didn't want to push it further, but I felt definitely I could. And then over the next couple of days, I started looking more into how, so I pushed it much further. I would say I have a 20% increase at least in my cardio, which is crazy. I actually was doing cardio for a long time before that, and I just stayed at the same level and I didn't improve. Now it's just improving like crazy. So, and keep in mind, I'm from Europe. I'm not used to hyping things, but I can't help myself because I'm so excited about hydrogen. So I'm testing my SpO2 with SpO2 meter because I'm interested in all these things, to see the oxygen saturation levels, especially also because I live in high altitude up in the Andes Mountains here in Ecuador. And so I checked my SpO2, and as soon as I start breathing hydrogen, it goes up 2 points. And so, which is quite interesting. Or if I drink the water, it goes up 2 points. So my oxygen saturation in the blood goes up by breathing hydrogen, which is really interesting. So also I do something called breath hold exercises. So where you're increasing your CO2 resilience in the body. If you're interested in learning more about that, I did a whole live event around it. You can go in and check on downwardparcel.com. But anyway, some breath work where we do breath hold, all that stuff, that has improved dramatically in me too. I can hold my breath for a much longer time. So my CO2 resilience has improved. So these are kind of body markers that are kind of telling you that there's something good going on inside the body. My sleep is deeper and better. I don't sleep less. I sleep the same amount of time, but it's just deeper. I fall asleep faster, and I go into a deeper sleep. And I would say I don't wake up in the middle of the night. So my sleep was already good, but now it's even better. And yeah, so I wrote here cortisol reduced. So what happens when your sleep is interrupted too much is it's usually a sign of high cortisol, stress levels, etc. And I know hydrogen is reducing cortisol, which is really good. So I'm thinking that has to do with my better sleep. My meditations are deeper, and I feel more at ease, more at rest. The mind is more calm and quiet, and I feel like I have all the time in the world. And yeah, I love my meditations these days. It's just like the body just want to work with you now. My breath work is way better, which I talked about before with the CO2, the breath holding, all that stuff. And I also feel my lungs are capable of getting more oxygen in somehow. It's difficult to explain in a few seconds. So I have more energy overall. And so here's the thing. Because I have more energy and I don't get sore from training, because of that, I'm training more. There's more exercise happening in my life because of the hydrogen. So it's not like the hydrogen is going to make you exercise more directly, but because you don't get sore, you feel more attracted to it. And then also, I noticed that when I sit and breathe the hydrogen, after some time, I just got to get off my butt and do stuff. It's like I don't want to sit still. So it's just interesting to watch. And so because of that, I'm doing more training. And because of that, I'm also losing weight. So hydrogen is maybe not directly making you lose weight, but because it's changing how your lifestyle is, it makes you lose weight. So my weight has been dropping off steadily since I started inhaling and drinking hydrogen, which is totally cool. And it feels like I'm not trying, but it's just happening. Another thing I noticed is my memory is improved. So for example, just a little anecdotal, like for example, when I do my internet banking, I always, when I log in, I get an email. I have to write a series of numbers that they send to me. So it's always new numbers. And so they send me an email with these new numbers. And I always only can remember the first 4 or 6 numbers. And then I write those, and then I have to go back to the email and look at the next 4 to 6 numbers and write the rest of them, and before I can log in. Now I can remember all of them, and I just log in. And so it's stuff like that that I'm noticing, and this was not happening before hydrogen. So my memory is improved. I definitely feel more present when I have conversations with people. I can remember more things, etc. So that's really good. I have more clarity. You can say one of the things that I see with people who come to breathe on the hydrogen, they feel this freshness in the brain, like clarity. It's just like an opening and waking up kind of feeling. And so that I can definitely relate to. And what actually prompted me to make this video is also because I was actually out laying in the sun. And so I'm at the equator up in the Andes Mountains, and it's sunny outside. There's not a cloud on the sky. It's super hot. The sun is strong. And I'm going out at 12 o'clock noon because I want all the UVA, UVB, which everybody says is dangerous, which is not. It's very good for you. And so I go out there, and usually before hydrogen, I'll do 20 minutes. I do 10 minutes on one side and 10 minutes on the other side. And then I feel like my body says, yeah, good enough. We hold there. And now, this was something that was dramatically changing already after a couple of days on hydrogen. I can lay in the sun for hours. Like I don't have this time, so I don't, but it feels like I can stay there for a much, much longer time. So, but now I'm doing maybe 40 minutes, I think 20 minutes. So I'm doubling up my sun time, but I'm actually stopping not because the body says it's had enough, but because I have to do other stuff. So this is crazy for me to experience that the sun. So I actually can say that the sun's rays are creating some free radicals in your system, depending on your diet, etc. But which, when your body is full of hydrogen, that is not an issue. So the body can protect itself. So all the good benefits from the sunlight happens, and all the negative effects is not a problem because the body is in a healthy state with all the antioxidant capacity from the hydrogen. So much longer sun, and also my sauna sessions are longer. I can sit for longer now in the sauna, sweat for longer time. The body's just more resilient. I'm also doing ice bath. So exercise is easier, ice bath, sauna, and sunlight. So all these things that are like hormesis, like this healthy form of stress for your body just becomes more resilient from the hydrogen. So this is something I noticed, and it's really interesting to see how the body just reverts back to when you were young and strong, and you could handle more stuff. Which also, by the way, has it's a negative side, because I actually can eat more unhealthy foods now. So I actually did an experiment. I think it was 2 days ago. I went out and had Italian food, lots of gluten and wheat, and I drank some beers with it. And this is the first time in a year or more, maybe, that I eat something like that, because normally if I eat a pizza or something, I'm just knocked out the rest of the day and the day after. I will feel extremely tired and inflamed. My nose will block up. I won't sleep well at night, etc. But I did this and I'm fine. And it was like, so it's a little dangerous, because that means you can also be living more unhealthy than you actually are supposed to. So my job is to not let that run away with itself, and I changed my dietary habits, etc. I'm still gonna stay on a very, very good healthy diet. So which also brings me to digestion has improved. And so I definitely can feel my digestion is better. It can handle more of these swings. So definitely improvement in that area. And so the last point I wrote is I'm overall just feeling better. And so this is amazing stuff. I can't stop raving about this. I am excited. It's just I'm not, and I only just talk about the physical stuff right now, but there's a lot of spiritual stuff, benefits with this, and emotional, mental benefits. I actually think I'm pretty sure this would be good for depression and anxiety. Um, I would feel very confident that if somebody was using hydrogen for depression and anxiety, that it will have a positive benefit. So, but I can't say for sure, because this is not something I'm struggling with myself, but I know there's a lot of people out there struggling with it. Now, with all these things said, so I'm trying not to hype this up too much, but it's also very difficult not to when you're so excited about it. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of scams out there in the hydrogen industry. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I've been busy now for the past 6 months. I've been digging into the whole hydrogen story, what's good, what's not. And I've had lots of experiences now. I've been in contact with a lot of people. I also tried several different kinds of machines now. And I have now finally reached a point where I feel I'm ready to actually disclose and speak about what I think is working and what I think does not work. Because there's a lot of things out there that they don't tell you. And there's a lot of pitfalls that you can do a lot of things to hurt yourself. You need to know what you're doing. And so I have decided to create a free live event on Saturday and also on Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to do an open live event. Everybody can join. And I'll be talking about hydrogen, how crazy, mystical, alchemical it is, and what it can do for you, etc. And what's going to happen is on Saturday, I'll be sitting rambling like a madman about hydrogen for it's going to be at least 3 hours, nonstop, and you're gonna have smoke coming out your ears because I've compiled a serious amount of information, and you're gonna be excited about hearing all this. You're gonna freak out. So I'm gonna have this on Saturday, and then on Sunday I'm gonna go deep into the hydrogen industry, the machines, what people say, and what's the truth, etc. And I know I'm going to make myself very unpopular in certain circles because there's a lot of revealing that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to really expose, but I'm also I'm having some really good news as well, because there's going to be ways for you to tap into hydrogen. People on a budget, very cheap, and then people for mid-range economy, and then people who are ready to get the Rolls-Royce, the McLaren F1 version of hydrogen reality. So I'm gonna introduce you to all the levels of it, and I know you're gonna love this. So that will be Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday this coming weekend is gonna be all about hydrogen. And keep in mind, I've been deep into water for 25 years, and I must say I am as excited about the hydrogen molecule in itself as I am about water in itself. So, but these two are very related, but this is huge. So I hope I see you on Saturday and on Sunday, and we're gonna email out a free link for you. You just click and you can join the live event for free. You just have to show up. And also, if you can't make it, we haven't even decided on what time yet, but if you can't make it, just know that we're going to send out a replay to you as well. So with that, I see you next time.